Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. As I wrote in my Sunday newsletter, it could be a busy week on the baseball free agent front leading up to the baseball winter meetings in Orlando next week. We shall see. But if I am the Baltimore Orioles, I am making a move for Pete Alonso. I think he would fit into their lineup perfectly. He would fit into that ballpark perfectly. And the Orioles need to make a splash. I mean, they've been busy already, obviously. Of course, the latest signing, reliever Ryan Helsley, to a 2-year contract. I think that's a good move by the team. They need to strengthen their bullpen. But now they need to add some punch to their lineup, and Alonso is perfect for a number of reasons. One, obviously, he brings more pop to the Orioles lineup. You prevent the Red Sox from getting him, and by all accounts, it seems the Red Sox are also interested in Alonso. It doesn't appear as if the Mets are going to re-sign Alonso a second time. The only drawback is, obviously, Alonso is in his early 30s, probably is seeking a 5 or 6 year contract, and owners are always reluctant to give a free agent in his early 30s a long-term contract. But sometimes you've got to swallow your strategy of not giving out long-term contracts to aging ball players and do it to give the franchise a boost in the immediate scenario. And the immediate scenario right now for the Orioles is they have to win. They turned this thing around. They won the division in 2023, get ousted in the playoffs. They make the playoffs in 2024, get ousted. They finish in last place in 2025. But in this day and age, particularly when you do have talent, and the Orioles have talent, you can turn things around. You put an Alonso in the lineup, and you make a couple of other tweaks here, tweaks there, and the Orioles could be the Toronto Blue Jays of 2026. Don't doubt me on that. Look, I don't think the Blue Jays are going to go out and get Alonso. They've already spent a lot of money, again, signing a pitcher to a long-term contract, in this case, Dylan Cease, to a 7-year deal. But why are the Blue Jays doing that? Well, they want Cease in the immediate. They want Cease to help the Blue Jays get over that hump and win the World Series in 2026 and perhaps in 2027 if there is baseball in 2027. So they're looking at it from an immediate standpoint, and that's how the Orioles have to approach Alonso. Red Sox are probably going to be aggressive with Alonso. Pete Alonso in Fenway Park, are you kidding me? But the thing about Alonso is he would fit well into Oriole Park as well because he's got power to all fields, so he'd be perfect for that ballpark. I don't think the Yankees are going to go after Alonso. They've got other fish to fry. The Rays, that's not their modus operandi, going after big-time free agents, even with new owners, although I look for Tampa Bay to improve with that new ownership. But the Orioles, with their new ownership, have deep pockets. They're willing to spend, and sometimes you've got to look short-term to appease the fan base, and the loyal Orioles fan base needs to be appeased. I haven't been reading much about Pete Alonso going to the Orioles. Kyle Schwarber, perhaps, and he'd be fine, but I'll tell you, Alonso would bring a lot to the table for Baltimore. So, going to be interesting to see what happens for this week, now that it's after Thanksgiving, leading up to the baseball winter meetings. And then, of course, you've got the winter meetings themselves next week. Could be a lot of activity. And the Orioles obviously are a franchise that wants to be involved. They want to make a move now because they feel their time is now, that their fan base has waited long enough. And Pete Alonso would help to make the Orioles' time to be now. We shall see. That's going to do it for Dan on Sports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you later.